Settings. We've been recording in 1080.
Okay.
Output.
Output. Aren't we supposed to be recording in 1080?
No, we want to stream in 1080, but I want to record in 4K.
Oh, really?
Video.
Video?
Output. I want to change that. I think because you're recording.
Didn't we change it before?
Yeah. This.
But then it lagged the stream. Remember?
Yeah, but not recording. Just streaming. We can stream in 1080. That's fine. But record, I want to record in.
Okay.
Next time.
I think next time. Because the stream still come out good. So. No worries. No worries. Just add a note. But I opened up chat.
Good.
Good. I like. Screen with cam. Okay, so this we gotta push in, right? Like this.
Yeah, or just move it a little bit to the side.
But do you like it how it's like I'm here and then this is it? Versus should it be overlap more?
You could do that if you want to.
Right? Because then now there's a gap here.
Well, that's just because
In
you
the
haven't
screenshot.
got full screen there.
Oh yeah, I didn't make it full screen. And I probably gotta be smaller. So we can see what's on screen.
Be mindful of that.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna leave some room here to be safe.
Yeah. 35.
35?
I'm going to leave that just in case if you can't, but it should
50.
be at least 35.
Okay.
I'll leave 50.
50. Okay.
Your chat.
Now let's go to chat.
Your docs.
Docs. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to my chat. I don't know if we emailed the email list. Juan said he was. You want to check with them? And see all content? What up, guys? We got 3 watching live. How we doing? How we doing? I'm just over here eating. Don't mind me. Just doing some eating. Alright, so what am I eating? I'll show you guys right now. I gotta pull up my... So I've been tracking my calories every single day to a T. That's probably the most diligent I've been when it comes to tracking, honestly. And I can only eat about 1850, 1900 calories a day right now, give or take. Kind of depends how many steps I've been doing, but I've been walking 8 to 10,000 steps a day. That doesn't include the workout as well. And my trainer is making me track every single calorie. And since then, I've gone from 185 to 177 today over the last 3 weeks. So that's what, 8 pounds in 3 weeks. I think obviously a lot of that in the early days is going to be water, but my goal by the end of February is to get down to 170. So yeah, that's the plan. So this is my last meal of the night. I'm gonna show you guys right now. Let me share my screen. Screen with cam. Yeah, look at this. This is what I'm eating on a daily basis. Breakfast, sourdough toast, 4 eggs, 2 slices of turkey bacon. For lunch, I had chicken with broccoli and cabbage. Dinner, I got 8 ounces of salmon, half a cup of rice, and just a bunch of veggies, as you see here. This is literally dinner tracked 570. And then obviously I have like a green juice every day. I had some rice cakes to snack on throughout the day, and some juices I take. So 1927, I'm right in that range. Obviously, once I start to plateau a little bit, I'll start being a lot more diligent. But this is what I'm eating right now to go from 177 pounds to 170, hopefully in the next 4-ish weeks is the plan. So, and again, that on top of doing probably 5 workouts a week right now and about 8 to 10,000 steps a day, every single day. Yo, Sam Putnam, how we doing, man? How we doing, Sam? How we doing? I'm literally gonna eat and chat with you guys. Eat and chat, eat and chat. You know what I like to do when I eat? Either I watch a YouTube video. I don't know about you guys. I love watching YouTube when I eat. Or I will read Twitter. One or the other. I feel like my Twitter algorithm is gas right now. Like I just get good insights and ideas every single day. Toca Madera restaurant operators allegedly stole money from investors, spent it on plane tickets and OF models. The investors are suing. I've been to Toca Madera in Scottsdale. It's actually a very good restaurant. Very good restaurant. I mean, here's the issue. They're running. If you want to use company funds for your own thing, you can't run it as a VC backed company and have investors. That's the issue with this stuff. It happens all the time. You want a cash flow business where you can just spend money how you want. Don't raise money from investors. If you want to have investors, that's also fine, but you can't treat it like it's your own baby and do whatever you want financially. My Twitter feed has been swamped with Epstein stuff. It's actually pretty insane. There's supposedly there's an Epstein podcast that's out that's been circling around, and people were like, this guy is just, listen, I'm not defending anything he's doing, but supposedly based on Twitter, people were saying he was very sharp and like he knew exactly what he was doing. So let's see. I think let's watch this. Actually, I've been wanting to watch it. How do I play the sound for people to hear? I literally bookmarked the Epstein thing. I want to watch it actually. Epstein interview.
Yeah, they should be able to hear. You're just not playing anything.
Oh, here, an hour 57 before it gets taken down. The full Jeffrey Epstein interview. Holy shit. Can I hear it?
Headphones.
I gotta listen to headphones.
They're both connected.
Okay, nice. Let's do it. Can you guys hear this? You guys can hear this or no? Am I echoing?
Are you playing it? Playing it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I can't hear.
You can hear it? Yeah. I can hear it. But you can't. That's good to know. All right, one sec. Let me adjust this audio. I'll figure it out. Yeah, feel free. Feel free. Yeah, my salmon has bones. Crazy. Sam, what do you do, man? Where are you located?
Is it playing?
Not yet.
Is there
No.
sound on that thing?
No.
Are you playing it though?
Oh, there's no sound on yet. One sec. Okay, it's sound on. I hear it. You hear it or no? Oh, delayed. New Hampshire, man. New Hampshire is a good college. Town Dartmouth. I applied to Dartmouth actually in college, for college, and I got rejected. Actually, no. I got waitlisted at Dartmouth. That's what I remember. Trading Discord, nice. What's in the Discord? Is it charged? Is it free? Like, what are you doing there? Just building a community? Can you hear it or no? No? Okay. Oh, good. I'll just pause it for now. This Epstein shit is crazy, though. Huh? Here. You got rejected from all Ivies? Yeah, I mean, I got rejected from all except Dartmouth that got waitlisted. And then I got in UCLA.
What's the name of this? Where's the video? This one?
No, it's go up. No, go back. It was not. Back again. Oh shit. Oh no, it's in this tab. Go up. So,
You're playing it from there, right?
yeah. Is it free stocks community? What is that?
bill. They would expect me to pick up the check because I was at Rockefeller. And he said, I was chairman of Chase Bank.
I hear it on my.
And he said, I remember like it was yesterday, one of the headlines in Time magazine said, David, please fire yourself. So he thought that there was a world that existed that would be a combination of both politics
Good.
and business
What happened? How did you change it?
and
I'm curious
leadership.
now.
What do I mean? He formed something called the
Yeah. Can you
Trilateral
hear me?
Commission.
Test.
The Trilateral
Right.
Commission
Is
is
it
some
overpowering
spooky
you?
stuff. People
Stop.
said it was something the people that the Illuminati, there's
Should we just
some mystery about it.
Or how do I
People that
talk
ran the
over
world.
it? Where I pause it and talk.
It was politicians, but David said most countries, the politicians get elected for 4 years or 8 years, separate from the royal families in England or in the Middle East. Someone's there for 4 years and then they're not there anymore. The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this Trilateral Commission of businessmen and politicians from 3 major continents. So it was the North Americans, the Europeans, and the Asians. So he said
Huh? I did. Turn it more down?
to me, would you like to be on the Trilateral
I
Commission?
just turned it down more. Just let me know.
I was
'cause it's
30
good
years old,
context.
32 years old. I said, great. And
Yo.
he said, well, you have to fill out this application
Can you hear me?
so they have your bio. And I looked at the list of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, Paul Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history. And they asked me to fill in what I would like to have written. And I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid, which I thought was funny, nobody else did. So in answer to your question, at that time I recognized around the world that monies and currencies
Johnny.
were not really well
Remember
understood.
Gallon?
But again, it was only
Over there.
numbers.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So numbers, and I'll get to the fact that it was bad thinking. Numbers are very good.
Are most
sorry,
people,
sorry.
are most people that you meet, even on the Trilateral Commission, when you meet most people, do you find most leaders financially illiterate, economically illiterate?
Most political leaders don't come out of a background of finance. Most political leaders come out of a background of being popular. So in some of the countries, in some of the African countries, for example, they might have been a military person. They were a general. In some of the African countries, they might have been a disc jockey. Or in our country, they would have been an actor. The knowledge of money they don't have an expertise, they have no degrees in finance. They really, and this is one of the major problems, their expertise, if they have any financial knowledge, is of their own checking account or bank account and filling in their own taxes. So many world leaders who don't really have a financial underpinning make fundamental errors when it comes to money on a country or institutional level. Let me give you an example. If you, Mr. Bannon, if I said your assets increased last year, you'd say, that sounds pretty good. And I'd say, what does that mean to you? You'd say, well, I have more money. I guess I'm wealthier. I'd say yes. And if your debt increased, would you feel wealthier or poorer? You'd say, well, I don't want to have increased debt. I don't like the idea of that sound, increased debt. Now, that and world leaders understand when their assets go up, they feel better. However, institutions like banks, things that people don't really understand are financial underpinnings of banks. When I say your bank, Mr. Bannon, you have the Bannon Bank, you doubled your assets. Sounds good, but what does it really mean? It means people owe you more money. You don't have any more money. What? A bank's assets are how much it is owed by other people. That's crazy. So if the bank goes from a $2 billion of assets to $10 billion, it means people owe it an additional $8 billion, but their assets have gone up.
All right. Well, I'd rather just watch the summary of that. Maybe there is some summary. Epstein. Podcast summary. What's this live about? Anything you want it to be, my friend. Anything you want it to be. Ask away. Right now it's about Epstein, because this shit's crazy. So this was the most popular long form article on X, and Elon Musk paid this guy $1 million for writing this because it got 48 million impressions. So let's see what this article is about. Deloitte, a 74 billion cancer metastasized across America. You're never meant to hear the name Deloitte, and you were never meant to know that the government has wasted $74 billion by working with them. Deloitte is one of the largest contractors building on American government IT systems, Medicaid, unemployment, child welfare, food assistance. When you interact with the state's benefits system, there's a decent chance that Deloitte builds it. And building the 600 million row and growing database for some months to scan. One name continues to appear, Deloitte. California's unemployment fraud disaster that cost the state $32 billion, built by Deloitte. Tennessee kicking 250,000 children off Medicaid, built by Deloitte. The $1 billion software project in California got canceled. Whoa. This is... I wonder how this guy wrote this article. Wow, Deloitte has received $30 billion in federal contracts and at least $10 billion from states. And they keep getting hired by the government. You know, if you have a plug with the government and you can get hired, you're going to make money. Like, a lot of these big businesses who have government contracts, I know this even on a smaller scale. Huh?
Mute this.
Mute this?
Yeah. Go down.
Where?
Scroll down a little bit. Mute it. Unless you're gonna show a video.
Oh, got it. Turn it on when I show video. Am I echoing?
You were, yeah. Go on.
Test.
I'll let you know if you can mute that way.
Okay. Yeah, just let me know on this one. This one's about to get juicy. I'm about to get juicy.
You're good.
I'm good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Over the past 2 decades, Deloitte has received roughly $30 billion in federal contracts and $10 billion more from states. And even from losing billions of dollars, the government keeps hiring them. So this is what you got to get understand about business. This is a game of relationships. I know people who have exclusive Walmart contracts for their products or CVS contracts. And guess what? That's the product that's going to get pushed in the shelves. That's the product that's going to make a lot of money. Not the best product out there. And when you can change your mindset and understand that, listen, even though Deloitte's kind of cooked the government keeps working with them. Why? Because my guess is the CEO or chairman or someone super key on Deloitte probably has a direct relationship with someone who has the sign off in the government, and that's why they can get it. That's my hypothesis. So. Well, this guy's article made $1 million. I've not tried sending affiliate offers. Right now, we're just not even maxed out on Facebook or YouTube ads. So adding in an extra channel is just more complexity for us versus like fixing everything internally to keep pushing scale. I'm sure eventually we will test affiliate offers, but right now it's been tough. Clearing up the Miami question, ranking across cities by total capital invested per stage. Seed, Series A, Series B. I mean, it's not horrible compared to what I thought it would be. I mean, obviously, the Bay is going to be number one for any sort of VC-backed startup, but hey, for a seed round Series A, like, people are raising money here. I think obviously it's looking like the bigger a company gets, there is network effects of being in Silicon Valley that it's tough to beat. And obviously AI density, talent. $40K AP. My first watch was an AP, but it didn't make me $1 million. I think you can fool people who don't have the money if you have a nice watch, but you know, it's almost like so normal when you walk around. People who do have money, like, obviously it's cool, it's a nice conversation starter, but no one's just going to do business with you if you have a nice watch unless they're broke and, you know, you're impressing them with your lifestyle. Market Beat sends to Descend Masters. Oh, I didn't know Market Beat sends them. But here's the thing, though. My guess is it's not zero media costs, right? Like, they're still paying CPA what they would pay Facebook or YouTube, unless they're able to pay half of a CPA. If so, that I think would be pretty good. We'll die in this hill. 250 to 500K a year job, $1.5 million home, over $1 million liquid, less than $5 million net worth, 6-figure garage, I'm assuming of cars, 1 to 2 vacations per year, is middle class, not rich. You can't convince me otherwise. I think there's nothing wrong with that. My number for this, personally, would be like, what would I like to get to? I would say 8 figures a year take home. Home, 8 figures. Net worth, 9 figures. Probably high 7 figures liquid, because you probably want to be mainly deployed with a 9-figure net worth. 6-figure garage. I mean, I don't really care that much about cars, but I'm sure I'll have a couple nice ones. Vacations per year. I think like 2 vacations is good. Maybe more if I had a family. But I think 2-3 vacations is more than enough, I would say. I also have to travel a lot for work, so it doesn't really kind of just squeeze it in one. So maybe like 2 separate vacations. I guess it really just comes down. Like, I think this is a good, this probably works. I wonder what people are saying to this. This is upper middle class. Yeah, I would say this is probably, I would say this is between, this will be the new middle class or on the lower end of upper middle class. I would say the new upper middle class will eventually be $10 million net worth in the next 5 years, just because of inflation. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Like, people don't understand. It's not $1 million today versus trying to be a millionaire back when our parents were trying to do it 20, 30 years ago is significantly different. What is the difference? Do we know? I'm going to find out for us, actually. If you had $1 million liquid 40 years ago, what would the equivalent All right, look at this. $1 million liquid 40 years ago is 2.6 to 2.8 million. Let's use 3 million just to keep it simple. You need 3x more. So obviously, if you think about it, being a millionaire 40 years ago and then aiming for $5 million net worth today, you're like aiming for, I don't know, $2 million. Unfortunately, with inflation, like this is the new middle class. Like, it's crazy to say, but $5 million feels like the new middle class. 10 million probably feels like upper middle. And then top 1% will probably be, I don't know, if I had to guess, 15 to 20 mil plus, due to just us continuing to print money, because life is expensive now. Houses are expensive. Most people who are millennials can't afford a home right now. And if they can, it's not in a major city. It's somewhere where land is significantly cheaper. But let's have ChatGPT test me on this, because I like to be proven wrong. What is considered middle class nowadays? I mean, it will probably be less, realistically. I just won the clip farm. And what is upper middle class net worth? Same with top 1% net worth. What is considered middle class nowadays, and what is upper middle class net worth? Same with top 1% net worth. Middle class is a few $100,000 net worth. Okay, that makes sense. Wow, upper middle is not even. Is this income or net worth? Wow, that's crazy. Look at the difference between upper middle class and top 1%. You go from, because, when it sounds like it doesn't feel like it's that insane of a difference when you look at the numbers. 700,000 net worth compared to $13.6 million or more. I mean, the rich are getting richer. If you don't own assets, if you don't figure out how to jump in here, it's the people with the infrastructure who are going to just keep making more money. Wow, lower middle class, 200K net worth. Upper middle class, 200 to 700K. Top 10%, $2.1 million. Damn, if you have $2.2 million, you're only top 10%. I feel like you should be like top 5% or something if you have 2 mil. 13.6, top 1%. Interesting. Okay, let's see. I got some good topics for you guys I want to talk about. I listened to this podcast the other day. And I'm gonna tell you guys the takeaways because this one was really good. TBPN. It was, I think, Colin and Samir. Okay, so I listened to this podcast when I went on a walk, probably yesterday, and it's super insightful. I highly recommend you watch it. Basically, the most interesting thing was these two guys, John and Jordy, they decided to pick a very, very peculiar niche, which was people in Silicon Valley. They're like trying to target, I don't know. They said their target market in the podcast, they figured it was only going to be about 200,000 people, essentially. And the interesting thing is, they may not get a lot of viewers right now, but they have gotten Sam Altman on their podcast. They have gotten Mark Zuckerberg, and they do about $20 million a year. For, I think they said they get maybe a few hundred live viewers at any time. Maybe it was a couple thousand. It wasn't anything like insane. And they just started with Twitter first. But here's the most important takeaway. They had one clearly defined niche, and this niche had a lot of money in it, right? People in Silicon Valley have money, and people who are in tech have money. And so guess how they make money? All from sponsorships, all from people willing to pay them 7-figure brand deals just for them to do ad reads on their podcasts. And the lesson this explains is you don't need a big market to make a lot of money. Like, they are printing money, and they get to have a blast doing it. They get to hop on, talk for a few hours every single day, get their stuff clipped up, just have fun and talk about the news and share insightful takeaways on what's going on in tech, all things tech, but make a lot of money doing it. And so this is really the power of when you start, you have to clearly understand who your defined avatar is. And this is something I still mess up to this day, even though I've had successful businesses, which is sometimes you forget. It's like you start initially you don't have a clear avatar, and then when you do, you start to do things right, and you have your avatar, and then you start to expand again, and then you forget the core reason of who you're serving. And so if you can just remember to clearly define your niche, clearly define who is your ideal customer and avatar, like put this on a piece of paper and just remember this, because as you're building your business, as you're working on marketing or sales or product, you need to know and envision this person sitting in front of you when you're writing ads, when you're on a sales call, when you're building the product. Because if you don't serve this customer perfectly, then you won't really get this product market fit, content market fit like what they found. But I think they clearly defined it early on, and that's all they did. They didn't care about getting mass scale with their podcast, and it just shows that a small niche of people who have money or are more affluent can make you a lot of money. Oh, and also having a unique format. That's the other thing. Clearly defined niche, clearly defined avatar with a new or unique way of doing things, right? They took a format that is on CNBC or for all these boomers and did it for a different audience. And instead of being on traditional news, they were a live TV show. Obviously, they're live now on Twitch and YouTube as well. But that's it. You don't have to create something revolutionary to make 8 figures a year. You just need to be able to take something that's a proven format or model and apply it to a different niche with a different avatar, and then you can still run the exact same playbook and make money. Like if you're just looking to make lifestyle cash flow business, I would probably just do that instead of trying to crack product market fit and raise money from investors and try and do something that's never been done before, because the success rate of that is probably going to be significantly lower than just copying a proven playbook. Epstein files leaked. Bitcoin should peak in 2026? I don't know about peak in 2026, but let's see. Let's see what Bitcoin's at. Bitcoin can potentially go down to somewhere between the 70K Bitcoin will probably bounce around the 70K to 53K, 55K-ish area. Like, I don't really see it going lower than that. Like, if Bitcoin's trading at 55, 60K, in my opinion, you're buying Bitcoin at 60 cents on the dollar. Like, unless Bitcoin is a scam, I don't see it long-term being sub 100K. So if you believe in gold and digital gold, and you're seeing what gold is doing right now, Bitcoin right now, if you technically bought it, would be buying $1 for 70 cents on the dollar. And if it keeps going lower to 65K, I still think the same thing. Like, that's probably from a risk reward perspective. If you're going to own any crypto, it's probably going to be Bitcoin. And if so, you get to, instead of hold cash, have something that's 65 or 70 cents on the dollar. Like, that's a no-brainer for me. I will also be personally buying in and loading up in Bitcoin once it comes a little lower here in this range. So, but 72K right now, like, this is when it's starting to become a pretty good buy, in my opinion, give or take an extra 10, 15K lower. So, and if it gets below that, that's like a no-brainer buy if it even gets below 60K. So, actually, I want to see Ethereum. Ethereum can definitely get down to like 17, 1600. There's a lot of support in the 1600 area. Maybe it gets to 1400 as well, but yeah, Ethereum definitely has room to fall. If you like $400 more, I'd say 400 or 500. Yeah, I mean, even right now, like, you're buying it off 50% all-time highs for the second most popular crypto. Risk reward wise, I like that as well. Hyperliquid used to be 58. It cut down to $20. Wow, and it's bounced back. Interesting. $20 is great for this. There's a couple things I want to talk to you guys about. Something new feels like you're pressing. The math is forward, but it's hot. Oh, the novelty addiction loop. There's a few good, like, I basically have a notepad that I have thoughts that pop up every single day or week that I add into this notepad. And there's a few concepts I want to talk about. Okay. Listen to this. The novelty addiction loop and why it quietly destroys world-class outcomes. Here's the trap almost everybody is in, and almost no one can see while they're inside it. Novelty feels like progress, but novelty is often just motion without direction. Your brain is wired to spike dopamine when something is new, a new idea, a new strategy, a new market, new identity, new platform, new hustle, new framework, new tool that spike feels identical to momentum, but most of the time you're not progressing. You're ingressing, moving inward, sideways, or backward, while mistaking simulation for advancement. And so the issue with this, and why this is so dangerous, is the world rewards what's hot, not what compounds. The masses applaud reinvention, they celebrate pivots, they retweet novelty, so you get social proof for abandoning depth. Meanwhile, reality only pays one thing: sustained leverage applied to a single vector over time. Your brain wants the next shiny thing. Your ego wants to be early. The crowd wants you to stay entertaining, but your net worth does not reward novelty chasing. And so this is the illusion that fools a lot of smart people. Every new thing comes with a learning curve, and learning feels productive. So you confuse your learning velocity with outcome velocity. This is why, IQ doesn't just mean you're going to be successful. IQ can also lead you astray as well. High performers don't win because they discover more ideas. They win because they outlast the boredom curve on the right idea. My guess is there's probably a sweet spot of IQ where if you're too smart and you're always chasing every object syndrome, you're trying to do too much, you're going to fail in business. And there's probably a sweet smart where you're just smart enough to solve problems and do your one thing well, and then you don't get shiny object syndrome. The times I've lost probably the most money in business was when I'm thinking and chasing two rabbits. I'm trying to start this business and do this business and make this thing. But the people who make a lot of money, they do one thing for decades on end, and then they wake up and that's how you win. Because trying to do two things doesn't mean you're just operating at 50% on both. I think it's like significant versus the compounding effect of 100% on one allows you to be way more efficient. Like the best example I have here is probably hiring an agency. If you hire an agency and they have 10, 20 clients, they are separating their brainwidth and effort for you 10 different ways. And so they're going to be putting in the bare minimum, or they're only going to be putting all their eggs in one basket to actually help probably the agency that makes them the most money, or the client that makes them the most money. And then you lose out, and this is why agencies have high churn, versus if you had someone in-house that's thinking about what they need to do for you 24/7, it's not just an immediate return. You end up getting way more because the ideas, the breakthroughs come when you think about something and do something 24/7. And that's all you have to think about. Not when you have 5 things to worry about. And I've gone through this just starting multiple businesses. Thanks, Sam. Peace out. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it. There's another concept I have here. Join my team. What do you do, SciTech? Do I believe in luck? Luck is what happens when you stay alive in the game long enough for probability to bend in your favor. And that's the thing, is the longer you can stay in the game, the luckier you'll be. I think a lot of people confuse luck. I think a lot of people confuse luck with longevity, because when let's say you start something new, right, and you want to be successful at it, You go through multiple phases: excitement, learning, early traction. And then things settle in: boredom, doubt, setbacks. Why am I still doing this? And so you need to stick through the downs just as excited as you were during the ups, because that's where you stick around long enough to get lucky. And I think most people just end up quitting the moment they hit a roadblock, and then they tell themselves they're not lucky, when I believe a lot of us can create the majority, or at least a great chunk of our luck, right? Like, obviously, like, some people just they're just lucky. But I also think luck can be created if you approach life the right way. Like, who do you think is going to be more luckier? The guy or gal that talks and meets someone new every single day from the moment they were 18 onwards, or the person 18 onwards, guy or gal, who never even speaks and meets anybody new ever? Maybe they meet a few people a year new in just their network or circle. I can almost guarantee you that person who meets someone new every single day will have a lot more opportunities in their life than the person who just stayed in their bubble and never created their own luck.